Well, Jim, for our final question, let's stay somewhat on topic. This one was sent in to CornyDriveThru at gmail.com from Drew Farmer in Manchester, UK, but originally from Springfield, Missouri.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry you couldn't find anything closer to Springfield you liked.
I recently watched a 2013 shoot interview with the Rock and Roll Express. In that video, Ricky Morton made two very bold claims I wanted to get Jim's take on. The first claim Ricky made was that his music single Boogie Woogie Dance Hall sold 1 million copies at the price of $19.95. This sounds ridiculous, but Robert Gibson backed him up in the video. Come on, this can't be true, right?
Well,
secondly,
okay.
Ricky stated that Jim Crockett Promotions' head of merchandise said in court that he stole over $1 million from the company from the revenue made by merchandise sales. It is the merchandise person's thievery that led to no one making money off gimmicks in Jim Crockett Promotions. Can you confirm or deny these claims?
I can confirm part of it, and I can explain some of the other. The single Boogie Woogie Dance Hall didn't sell for $19.95 a piece. That was the Rock and Roll Express fan club. You got the giant 6-foot life-size poster, you got the bulletin, you got the record single, you got some other miscellaneous rock and roll stuff. I have one of the fan club packages here in the vault. Those sold for $19.95, and no, they didn't sell 1 million. They didn't have 1 million members of or elsewise Crockett would have never gone out of business because they did steal the money. What happened was, I can't remember the guys that they had an employee that was working doing merchandise for the Crockett's, but I believe it was Francis's daughter or a member of the Crockett family that was in charge of merchandise or the merchandise wing or whatever. And because some people were suspecting that the money wasn't going where it was supposed to, but at first they thought it was her and nobody wanted to fucking blow the whistle. This is what I was told. Nobody wanted to blow the whistle on a member of the Crockett family. And then later on, they found out it was the fucking guy, the employee. And they didn't make millions of dollars on merchandise because, as far as I can remember, the only merchandise that Crockett Promotions, they produced some, but the only thing that really sold well was the Rock and Roll Express fan club. Now, having said that, I can believe that they took in $1 million. That's what I was heard. Not that they had 1 million members, but that they took in $1 million. And with $20 a piece, how many would that be? 50,000?
Yes.
Yeah, that's believable. They took in, and Ricky and Robert got about from what I heard, $21,000 a piece out of all of that. So yeah, they were hot, and yeah, 50,000 fan club members at $20 a piece across the whole country. That was eminently doable, and that's probably what they did. So the million comes from $1 million, not 1 million sales of $19.95 a piece, and that's the situation with the merchandise people. And yeah, that chapped Ricky and Robert's ass, and rightfully so, because they saw those posters and they saw those records and they saw that shit everywhere. And they both got about 20 grand a piece out of it. It was amazing. It was so hot.
That record was so bad.
Nobody cared. They just, if it had the Rock and Roll's picture on it, they would buy. If it was a fucking can of motor oil, Rock and Roll Express, I gotta have it. It was incredible. And yes, they did get fucked on that, which is one of the things that led to one of their split ups from Crockett Promotions for a while.
But that's one of the things when you look at wrestlers today versus wrestlers then, we talk about how much money these guys made. We're talking payoffs. Yeah. Because at this point in the 80s, Rock and Roll Express, as popular as they get, they're doing some merch, some stuff for Crockett. Of course, they're paid, if they are paid at all, they're really paid in a really bad way in terms of royalties, but there's no fleshed out merchandise mechanism there. Imagine if there was for Crockett Promotions 86, 87.
Well, just think about this. Just the numbers alone. Crockett had weeks where if you ran Greensboro, Philadelphia, Baltimore, and a couple other towns in the same way. You're literally selling 100,000 live event tickets in a 7-day period. So, yeah, especially like a bash week and with a couple of the big bashes. So if just everybody that had come to the matches spent $1 that week, you'd do $100,000 in merchandise, but they didn't have anything. And the shit they did have halftime looked like shit.
All right. Well, with that,